Hello there, how you doing? Jeff D, AIMCBizSolutions.com for our AIMC marketing tip of the week. So this week I like to talk about lead generation. So I'm going to give you a quick example of kind of the world we're in today. I'm going to ask you a question. Have you ever connected to somebody on LinkedIn and then 5 minutes later you get a message from them? A lot of times it's from overseas saying, hey, I can help you generate leads. Or you're on Instagram, you post something, and you get a follow up comment or post saying, I can increase your followers list. Now, of course, what I'm going to tell you and recommend to you about that is always be careful who you work with, who you actually give private information, confidential information with. Really do your homework when it comes to, anytime you get propositioned or approached about lead generation. Because lead generation is a pretty loose term, right? Everybody needs leads. We all do. Anyone that's in sales, anyone that owns a business, you even need leads in terms of even looking for a job. It's probably one of the hardest things out there for somebody to do is qualifying leads. And that's where I'm going here. Most companies do not know how to qualify the leads. You are the only one that knows your business. You know your business, you know your product, you know your service. So a lot of times, and I've talked about quantity versus quality. Yeah, of course, companies like that, you'll pay an astronomical amount per month for some subscription service to generate a quantity of leads. But how do you know if they're qualified for your product or service? And that's where I always, I'm going to recommend to you right off the bat, be careful out there. I'm not going to say the word scam, but be careful about who approaches you because it's like wildfire these days. And I get them personally. I get probably around 5 to 10 emails a day, sometimes on LinkedIn, saying, hey, do you need leads? And they don't realize that I have a marketing background. Do I need leads? Probably not, right? So, how do you get leads? So, let's go traditionally here. How do you get leads for your company? Of course, there's ways. We've talked about cold calling, which does not work. Absolutely not. But understanding your customer and going where your customers are and educating them. That's how you can do it yourself. You can do it yourself that way, and it is time consuming, but it always works where you're building a personal relationship with the customer. It's a qualified lead. And I want to use that word qualified really hard here. That's the most important thing you have to think about is where you're going to get qualified leads. Now, there's a lot of automation out there. There's artificial intelligence. There's a lot of tools out there. I'm not going to go into any particular companies, but there's a boatload of AI companies out there that do lead generation. Do they work? I think they work a lot better than some of these people that end up calling you from some other country, who knows where, that says, hey, I could give you 5,000 leads. But artificial intelligence helps. Traditional SEO helps. Having a great website helps. That would actually automatically generate the leads that you want. And then, of course, traditional social media advertising helps because they know how to capture the demographic that you need to get the leads that you need. Because, like I said, lead generation is the hardest part of most people's business. You always think about closing, the journey, the customer journey and closing. Yeah, that's hard too. But really, where do we spend the most of our time? We always spend most of our time looking for the right qualified leads for what we do, our business, whatever it is, even if it's, in the world of corporate America, whatever you're doing, is generate leads. So in summary, what I like to say is, be careful out there. My recommendation is look at the background of the person that's contacting you, where they're coming from. Look up the company. Look up the company in the Better Business Bureau. Look to see what the history is. See who the client base is. Because there's a lot of companies out there that do lead generation. There's way too many, to be honest with you. And we really have to make sure that they're legitimate. That's the biggest thing. And the second thing is don't forget about the traditional way to get leads, quality leads. Use the tools like search engine optimization, social media ads, business networking, and having a great website that's optimal and responsive and knows what your product is. Because if you do that, those leads are going to come the inbound way. They're going to come to you. So that is my tip for the week. Hope this helps. If you have any questions at all, by all means, let me know. But of course, be careful out there. The internet's a crazy place. And I want to make sure you're all protected in what you do. Have a good day. Jeff D., AIMCBizSolutions.com.